He is the king of Australia. He is the king of the court. And let's be honest, Novak Djokovic has been the king of tennis now for 10 years running. 10 years running, he's been the GOAT amongst the GOATs. And now he's at 18, and this was a huge, huge win tonight for him. If he doesn't win tonight, he's stuck at 17. Nadal goes into the Australian Open looking to get 21. Now the motivation has to be even stronger to make a big performance at the French Open for both Nadal and Djokovic. It's going to be a huge, huge historic Grand Slam coming up in for the French. Novak could win all four. He could win all four. Let's face it. I think he's. I know everybody picks Federer on the grass, but I think Novak is the best grass court player. He does very well at the U.S. Open, and he got to the finals of the French Open this year. So, I mean, Novak is just amazing. I really, really was hoping for a great match. I was hoping for a great match. That's it. I actually picked Medvedev, guys. And if you look at the comments of my last video, most people were picking Medvedev or thought it was going to be a great match. And it just goes to show how Novak and Rafa and Roger, you just keep thinking that the age is going to catch up with them. You know, what's the line? Father Time is undefeated, right? That's what we've heard. Father Time is undefeated. And winning after 30 in tennis, up until these guys, to be winning Grand Slams consistently, no one's ever done. I mean, we were amazed what Agassi was able to do. We were amazed. Do you guys remember? We were amazed what Agassi was able to do after the age of 28. And by the age of 35, Agassi literally was hobbling off the court. And now we've got Roger near 40, Rafa mid 30s, and Novak at 33, just so far ahead. Even when we think that these guys are catching up, when we think that they're going to present a major problem for the GOATs, they just show up and say, no, I don't think so. I do not think so. We are so much better than you guys. And that's what Novak said before the match. One of his lines before the match was, everybody is looking for the young generation to overtake us, and they still have a lot of work to do. And Novak came out and made a big statement. He made a huge statement that Daniil Medvedev, yeah, people think that you're kind of like me. You know, that's how I kind of look at him. Like, is this Novak 2.0? He's a bigger guy. Looks like he's got a bigger serve. To me, sometimes I thought more consistent than Novak. I thought he's going to be more consistent than Novak. He moves just as good as Novak. He's bigger than Novak. He's beaten Novak pretty handily at the finals of the year-end finals. He beat him. He beat him in Cincinnati. He destroyed Tsitsipas. Tsitsipas was like, I think he can beat Novak after playing him. He absolutely destroyed Tsitsipas after Tsitsipas beat Nadal. So you're thinking, maybe it's time. Isn't it time for one of these next geners to get on the board here? And Novak said, nope. In fact, tonight, I know everybody here is hoping for a great match. It's beatdown city. It's beat down city. That's what we witnessed. I mean, think about how good Novak Djokovic is. I don't think we can even understand how good this guy is. It's crazy what he did to make Medvedev look bad. He made him look bad. That's all you can say. Is, as a tennis fan, it's disappointing and amazing at the same time. The disappointment is, for me, as somebody who is always wishing that people who don't really give tennis respect and don't understand tennis. I want them that on the rare occasion they might turn on a Grand Slam finals just to see what tennis is about. I want them to see an amazing match. And I thought tonight could have been an epic five setter. I thought it could have just gone the distance. I thought there would have been incredible rallies, but Novak just took his legs out after the first set. And I also was thinking that Novak's going to have to take it to Medvedev, that he's going to have to be the one forcing the action. And Brad Gilbert analyzed the match afterwards. He said the opposite. Novak, after the first set, actually made the opposite adjustment. He decided, you know what, I'm going to go down the middle. I'm going to make Medvedev force the action. And Medvedev was not comfortable with it. And he got more and more tired, more and more frustrated. And Novak took his legs out. He took his will out. He showed Medvedev that he isn't ready to attack the court, and that he can out rally him, that he can beat him at his own game, and beat him badly. Beat him badly, guys. Not even close. Everybody thought it was going to be close. I thought it was going to be really close. I thought it was going to be awesome. So I'm disappointed in that, but I am at the same time just in awe of Novak Djokovic, guys. I'm in awe of Novak Djokovic. I just don't understand how amazing he is. I mean, it's just unreal how he just dismantled him. I thought it was going to be a great match, and next gen is really bad. The future of tennis is grim. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, and I've been. Whoops, I lost myself. I've been uh, I've been really hard on the next geners. I've been really hard on next geners, basically at times calling them losers because of that they just don't win. And it's the opposite though. It's just that look, we've never seen this before. Do you guys remember Ivan Lendl? Do you guys remember Ivan Lendl? Ivan Lendl, when he played in the 80s and early 90s, he was dominant. I thought like no one's going to win more than Lendl. I mean, this guy is a machine. He got to 8 or 9 U.S. Open finals straight. He just seemed to win everything. He started to destroy John McEnroe, and they had a start out as a big rivalry, but by the end, Lendl was just so much better. And so when I was growing up, I'm like, this guy just doesn't lose. He's amazing. He won 7 or 8 Grand Slams, and he was amazing. But these three are so freaking good. They are so good that everything else seems like they're losers, right? And 15, here we go. 15 out of the last 16 Grand Slams have gone to the big three. And let's face it, most of them have gone to Novak and Rafa, and Rogers won a couple. Okay. 15 out of the last 16. What was the one that they didn't win? The US Open. Okay. Why was one of the three? You think if all three of them were at the US Open, that one of them wouldn't have won it? Do you really think so? After tonight, of course not. Of course, it would have been 16 out of 16. Why did they not win at the US Open? Well, Roger and Rafa didn't go play, and Novak made a split second dumb decision that he'll regret for the rest of his life, because guess what? If Novak didn't turn around and hit the ball and hit that lines lady, he would have 19 Grand Slams right now. Novak, if he didn't make that boneheaded move, which he regretted, he went over, he apologized. Don't beat up Novak on this. He apologized, and he's come back and shown how mentally tough he is by putting in a great performance at the French Open, now winning this. But he would have 19. Dominic Thiem wouldn't have won. Alexander Zverev wouldn't have won. No one in that tournament would have beat Novak. And tonight he showed it. He showed, look, if I'm healthy and I'm on the court and I'm not playing the big three, I'm not losing to anybody. And it again is just like, when does it end? When does it end? Because everything that we've been taught from the time we've been growing up, all the father time is undefeated. It's a young man's sport. Everything that we've been taught about life and tennis and sports is that Novak should be retiring now. Roger should have been retired years ago. Rafa should be. They should be not significant in their 30s the way they are. The young guys should be able to wear them down, beat them down faster, stronger. It's not even close. And the thing too is just really it's about understanding the mind, because if you look at Novak, if you look at Roger, if you look at Rafa, not only when they were in their prime were they great and perfect, they look perfect as tennis players, but these young guys are better than probably tennis players were 10, 15 years ago. The sport is moving forward. They're hitting the ball harder and harder. They're moving faster and faster. They're training smarter. They're doing, these and the young players are serious. They want to win. They have a lot of talent. They have a lot of skill. They don't suck. They don't suck. We are the way we dismiss them, since they can't beat the big three, is, oh, they suck. They're losers. We don't, as crazy as it is, we don't even give the big three enough credit. What we say is, oh, the young guys just suck, and it's just not true. They're amazing too. Like, go to a professional tournament and watch them hit a ball, and watch the work that they put in. And you tell me, are they not working hard? No, they're working extremely hard. Can they not hit great serves? No, they're machines. They're fast. They hit hard. They can come to the net. They can volley. Everything that we're saying about them, as far as how they're just not winners and they're losers and they're spoiled. No, they're not. They're not. But they just are not at the level of the three greatest players of all time. That's their only crime, is that they're just not they just can't keep up with the greatest in the history of the sport. Well, of course not, because they're the greatest in the history of tennis. They just all are playing at the same time. That's what's going on here, guys. That's why no one else can break through, because they're playing the greatest. You don't beat the greatest. You just don't beat the greatest until their level drops, and their level doesn't drop. That's what we just can't understand. It's like, why are you not showing any signs of weakness? Why are you not getting worse? That's what we don't understand. Because we've never seen it like this before. These guys are getting better. Novak Djokovic is getting better at tennis. Rafael Nadal at the French Open was getting better. We don't know what Roger Federer is going to do when he comes back. Again, we start to think, well, when Roger has to be getting right. He's been on this long hiatus. He hasn't played a tournament in over a year. He's 39. Surely we're going to see him fall off. He's going to start losing, right? We don't know. We don't know. They just don't lose. Let's read some comments. Great performance by Noli. Nice to hear your analysis now. Thank you. I appreciate it. I get your point, so I will meet you halfway. Big three are really good, but the next gen is just bad, to be honest. I don't know. I mean, when I watch the next three play, when I watch the next generation play, and I watch them play matches, I think they're pretty awesome. And I mean, Medvedev, are we going to say Medvedev now is no good? I mean, we've seen Medvedev play really great players and make them look bad. He made Tsitsipas look bad. Tsitsipas just beat Nadal. Is Tsitsipas? Are we going to say now that Tsitsipas is no good? Tsitsipas went toe to toe, which not a lot of people have done ever. He went toe to toe with Rafael Nadal. He was down 2 sets, and he came back and beat him 7-5 in the 5th set. And then Medvedev went out there and made Tsitsipas look bad. That's how good Medvedev is. Medvedev has beaten Djokovic in some tournaments. So Medvedev's level is really high. But going into the finals, that's a different animal. Going in to try and take a Grand Slam title from one of these guys, that's different than beating him in Cincinnati. That's even different than beating him at the World Tour Finals. The World Tour Finals is just icing on the cake for those guys. They want to win it, but it's not like they're going to fight to the death to win the World Tour Finals. It's not as big a deal. Look at who's won some World Tour finals. If you think the World Tour finals is anything like a Grand Slam, Grigor Dimitrov has a World Tour finals win, right? Go take a look at who's won some World Tour finals. They let some of the next geners take some of those. They don't care as much about that. It's the end of the year. It's fun. It's a nice event. They try hard, but it's nothing like taking a Grand Slam from these dudes. That's another level, and they're not having any of it. It's like you're literally going to have to take these guys off the court in a wheelchair. They're going to have their senior citizens, discount meals, and then they'll finally give up. I don't know when they're going to walk away. And I have been hard on the next geners saying, well, what's going to have to happen? Are these three just going to get tired of winning and walk away? And what does that say about the next geners? Like, they're losers, right? That's what I have said. I've literally said that, but I'm changing my tone here. But it very well may be. I mean, I've never seen it before, but it could be that the big three literally just get tired of losing and their families start to say, look, I want to start a family. I want you to be around the house more. You've done enough. It's time to go. It's time to hang it up. Please just leave the sport for us, for the family. And they just get burned out and they just decide to leave, and they literally could walk away from the sport not showing any signs of slowing down the way it seems. I mean, it sounds so weird to say that because we've never seen it. Usually, your performance shows you that it's time to go. Very few champions just leave on top. It's always like Serena losing to Osaka. I think we can all agree that if Osaka plays even half her game, Serena can't keep up anymore. I was hoping for a great match, Serena Osaka, two powerhouses, one who's the greatest and one who is trying to build her legacy. And Osaka just wiped the floor with her. It was not a match. It was clear that Serena is past her prime, that she's old, that she can't move the way Osaka can, that Osaka now hits a harder ball than Serena. It was painfully obvious. It wasn't that Serena played bad. Serena can't keep up with Osaka. That's not a knock against Serena, guys. It sounds like it. No, that's normal. That's what's supposed to happen. Even Serena getting to the semifinals at age 39 is not normal. But what is normal is to watch somebody her age get just shellacked by a younger player. That's normal. What we saw today is not normal. It's not normal for Novak to be playing this guy who everybody's looking like, this guy's awesome. This guy's fast. This guy plays like Novak, but he might even be better than Novak. That's the kind of stuff that actually entered my mind watching Medvedev go all the way to the finals, thinking maybe this is the guy. Maybe this is the one. Did anybody else feel like that? Did anybody else feel like maybe Medvedev is the guy we've been waiting for to finally do something? And we just saw more of the same. Greatness from the greats. Greatness from the greats. Outclassed, outmatched in every way. In every way, Medvedev was inferior tonight. He just was frustrated. He was tired. He wasn't more consistent. He didn't hit more winners. He wasn't better. There wasn't one thing you could point to and go, yeah, I think these guys are getting closer. You just think, no, they're so far away. It's not even close. It's not even close. It's amazing. It's amazing to me. Let's read some more comments. Zverev and Tsitsipas are whiners, not winners. Yeah, I mean, you can say that, but another thing too, guys. Remember, there's also different personalities on and off the court. And they're also great on the court. I mean, Zverev is a really cool dude. I just watched a video of him where he took off his headband, he put it on this one little girl, tied it on. I mean, I really look at Medvedev after he lost. He talked about how great Novak was. He talked about how, which again, A lot of people want to say bad things about Novak. A lot of people call Novak a whiner. A lot of people call Novak too arrogant. A lot of people call Novak a lot of things, But Medvedev said that when he was 500 in the world, he got to practice with Novak. And he thought, okay, I'm just going to show up and practice with Novak, be his hitting partner, keep my mouth shut, do what I'm told, and he's probably not going to talk to me. He said that Novak showed a genuine interest in him, was talking to him like a person, asking him questions, being super nice. And I think that's who Novak is. I think Novak is very, very misrepresented somehow. I think he's a very nice person. I love him in the press conferences. I love the times I've seen him just being around tournaments. I mean, I'm not like an insider. I'm just like a normal person just going to tournaments, and I've watched Novak sign a ton of autographs, be super nice to the kids. I've seen a million YouTube videos where he takes kids on the courts and hits with them. I've seen him win a tournament, kiss the dirt, and give all his prize money to his country when they were going through the terrible floods. I've seen Novak do so many amazing things, and I really think Novak is a good person and gets way too much um, flack for just not living up to what Roger and Rafa have created, as far as they never seem to say or do anything wrong. You're never going to see them smash a racket, but you know what? A lot of people who bag on Novak, I'm sure they've smashed their own rackets. I'm sure they've done things that they regret doing in front of people or maybe behind closed doors. No one's perfect. But I think Novak's pretty damn close to perfect. Another thing too, there's a guy who has a YouTube channel, 10 Fit Men, and he hit with Novak, and Novak took pictures with him, talked to him. I think Novak's a lot more down to earth and a lot nicer person than people give him credit for. So I am I'm just in awe of the guy. I just am amazed. Omar's on. He says, I told you Djokovic would find a way. I hope Medvedev is not the guy. Zverev, Thiem, Tsitsipas are much better for the future of tennis. I mean, that's the big question mark. We keep wanting. It's very normal of us to want to know what's next. We always want to know what's next. What's next? Maybe we don't even know who the next champion is at this point, because one thing that Djokovic, Federer, and Nadal have done. Think about how many generations they've played through. Like, just go one thing that would be interesting is to just go look at all the draws since they've entered the tour. Go look at all the draws and the amazing players like Tsonga, okay? Think about so many of the players that you've looked at and that should have had many Grand Slam titles because they were amazing. Go look at how many amazing people have been on the tour and played tournaments and have never won a Grand Slam. Are they all losers? Are they just the most unlucky tennis players in the history? There are so many great tennis players in the last 20 years who should have a trophy, right? That they should be able to look into their mantles and have a Grand Slam title, and they don't for one reason, that they played with Novak, Roger, and Rafa. That's their only sin, is that they just were born in this time. And you literally could probably look through, I don't know. I don't know how many retirements you would find in there, where you would look and go, wow, they're really good. Maybe they should be beating Roger right now. Maybe they could take on Rafa. And then they go through their entire career and they don't walk away with one. Go look at some draws. That'd be a fun little thing to do. I might even do that later today. I might just go look through like some Grand Slam draws, pull out one. I'm not going to look through every, but just maybe look at the Australian Open for the last 20 years and go find so many amazing names and go, wow, they were really good. They're not losers, but they didn't win a Grand Slam. Does that mean they're losers, or does that mean like, no, you just happen to play with the greatest and they just don't lose? They just don't lose. That's what's going on. Thiem is nowhere as near as good as these guys. That's true. Davydenko, Nalbanian. That's right. Monfils. Like, start naming some names, guys. That's pretty cool. Thank you for naming those names. Yeah, they didn't win one. Don't worry, Medvedev will compete for all the Grand Slams, runner-up titles. His cabinet will be full of runner-up titles. Yeah, maybe. The Grand Slam win was a complete farce, and he knows it. That's why he's done 0 since. What? Who? What are you talking about? What comment is that? Theme is nowhere near as good as that's right. His Grand Slam win at the US Open, and I do agree. I do agree. The US Open was like it just wasn't a normal Grand Slam, right? It was the first Grand Slam back since COVID. There was no crowd there. There was no Roger, there was no Rafa. Novak just did a weird freak once in a lifetime thing. Hopefully that will never happen again to him. And he didn't lose. He would not have lost that match. We know he wouldn't have lost that match. And as soon as he did it, he regretted it. But Novak would have won the US Open for sure. Djokovic just confirmed it was a muscle tear. Murray lost in 5 finals. Murray. Think about what an awesome career Murray had, but he would have had so many more Grand Slam titles if it wasn't for those guys. Murray would have won so much more. Let's see, Thomas Berdych. Yeah, Thomas Berdych. Thomas Berdych was a beast, guys. Is he a baby? Is Thomas Berdych a baby? Is he a whiner? Did he not work hard? No. He was great. He worked hard. He tried hard. It's just not, his only problem was he played at the wrong time. Everybody's playing at the wrong time, you know? And it sounds hard to believe. You know, that's one of the things that notice what all these big three say. How many times have they beaten somebody, and whether it's a smaller tournament or a bigger tournament, they turn around and go, you'll have your chance, you'll have your turn, you'll win some. How many times have they given that speech? And guess what happens? They never win. They never. The people that they're saying, it's okay, you'll have your day. No, you won't. No, you didn't. You're retired now, and they're still playing and winning. That's what's gone on. That's the craziness of it all. And so, I mean, it seems impossible to think that like a Tsitsipas could retire without a Grand Slam, that a Medvedev could retire without it just doesn't seem possible. I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to win one, but until they actually just leave, I just don't know. You just can't say it. It's disrespectful to say at this point. It's disrespectful to say that they're about to start losing when they're still so far ahead, right? The field is not catching up. And it's very easy to say they're not catching up because they suck. That's like an easy thing to say. Well, they're not catching up because they're just spoiled, or they're just not as good. That's easy to say. What's not easy to understand is like, no, these guys are in their mid-30s and they're still getting better at tennis. That's what's really going on. It's like these guys were great. What's going on is these guys were great in their 20s when we expect them to be, and they're better in their 30s. That's what's happening. Look at Tom Brady. I mean, we could say, well, certainly in their 40s, they're not going to be better, right? They're not going to be better in their 20s than better in their 30s than better in their 40s. Like that's not possible, is it? Guys, who just won the Super Bowl? Who just won the Super Bowl? Tom Brady. Who won the Super Bowl easily? Tom Brady did. Tom Brady is 43 years old. Tom Brady is light years ahead of everybody who's a quarterback at 43. So it is possible. It is possible because the training, the science of fitness has never been better. I remember, how many professional tennis players have said, I remember Jimmy Connors in his mid to late 30s. He said, actually, I'm a better tennis player now than I was in my 20s. I see the court better. I know how to play better. I just can't physically do what my mind knows what to do, right? Think about that. Connors, I remember he said this. I mean, Connors played great tennis into his late 30s, but he was mean, once he went past age 33, he was not a legit contender for a Grand Slam title. We were just amazed that he was getting to quarters and semis. We were just amazed that he was still making things entertaining. But we knew we were rooting for the old guy. And he said, "Look, I'm actually better now, but my body just can't do it. My mind knows what to do." Well, here's what's happening. These guys, their mind is getting better. They're seeing the court better. They know how to win better. They know their game better than they've ever known it, but the body can still do it. And as long as those two things happen, they're not going to lose. The more that they play tennis, they're going to keep getting better up here. They're going to have more battles. They're going to know. They're going to be able to analyze how to win better and better. That's not going to change for probably 20 years, right? It's all about, when does the body start to go? That's the million-dollar question that no one can answer. When is the body going to leave these three goats? When does the body say, "It's time, give me a break. We've got to stop"? Look at Novak's body. It's not even close to being done. It's not even close to being done. We're thinking, "Oh, who's going to have 21, 22 and walk away with the most Grand Slams?" I mean, if Novak can keep the level up that he kept up, he could have 26, 27, 28. Who knows? He if he runs the table this year, it's 19, it's 20, it's 21. Novak could finish this year off at 21 Grand Slams, and that's not outrageous to say. He could go to the French Open and play Rafa, or Rafa somehow could lose. I don't see how. I don't see how Rafa's losing. I don't see how Rafa's not getting the finals. And to be honest, I don't see how Rafa's not winning the French Open. Rafa still looks like he is so much further ahead than everybody, and he was so much further ahead than Novak. I mean, look how great Novak was tonight, and Rafa made Novak look like crap at the French Open. That's how great he is on clay. But let's just say it's possible that somehow he pulls off a miracle and beats Rafa at the French. And all of a sudden it's 19. He goes into the grass court tournament. Lots of people always start talking Federer, 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 and they should. Federer got to the final. Federer's still great on grass. He still could win on grass. But who beats him on grass? Novak. I think Novak at this point is the greatest grass court player right now playing. So he could then go in and win 20, right? 19, 20. Then the US Open, I think the best players at the US Open over the last 6, 7 years, two players, Rafa and Novak. On hard courts, who do you like? I'd have to go with Novak. So Novak could finish the year at 21. Novak could finish the year ahead of everybody. Novak's serve is so good. That's right. Oh, I have to put this here, guys. We're starting tomorrow. Are you ready? One thing that Brad Gilbert said, I don't know if you guys like Brad Gilbert or not, but I think his analysis a lot of times is pretty spot on. He said, "This is the best I've ever seen Novak serve." He also said that Novak has the best ball toss out of everybody playing tennis. And how important is the ball toss? So we're going to start a 7-day serve challenge. I call it the 7-day serve obsession challenge. So if you're watching this right now, you're obsessed with tennis. So hopefully you play. And we all know the serve is the most challenging thing to master. So we're actually starting a 7-day serve challenge tomorrow, to where we're going to teach you how to get your ball toss under control, how to hit a kick serve, how to hit a slice serve, how to serve over 100 miles an hour like the pros. So definitely sign up for that. What's your opinion about Boris Becker? What about Boris Becker was an amazing player. Boris Becker was incredible. Is that your question, though? Like what I thought of him as a player? I thought he was incredible. I didn't hear that, though. He didn't want to speak on it. Okay. Rafa will pull away with the Grand Slam record, but Novak will have everything else. How is Rafa going to pull away? I don't see him pulling away. I don't think it's a runaway train for Rafa to have the most Grand Slams. Let's take a look at this year. If things work out the way that I think they naturally could, You're looking at Rafa winning at Roland Garros, so that's 21. I think you're looking at Roger or Novak winning on the grass. So that's either 21 for Roger or 19 for Novak. And if I had to bet, again, just because you're thinking logically, you shouldn't think logically when you think about the big three, but logically speaking, Roger hasn't played a professional tournament for a year. He's 39. Logically thinking, you're thinking, okay, maybe Roger, maybe he is near the end. Who knows? I don't know. I'm not going to say that until I see it. But if you're just thinking logically, which you shouldn't do when you think about these guys, you're thinking logically, Roger probably will not win on the grass. So who's the next in line? Novak. So then Novak's at 19. And then going into the US Open, who are you going to pick there? I would have to pick Novak. So I predict that Novak will have 20 after this year and Rafa will have 21. And then you go into Australia, and all of a sudden it's 21-21. I mean, let's just play this out a couple of years. Then you go into the French. Now all of a sudden it's 22-21, Rafa. Then you go into Wimbledon, right? Then you go into Wimbledon, 22-22, tiebreaker at the US Open. That's if things work out just how they naturally seem to do at the Grand Slams. Let's see. If Roger wins that Wimbledon, things would be different now. Yeah, Roger let a big one go away. I mean, I'm sure Roger would love to have that back, 2 match points against Novak. But you know, that's what Novak does. He's done it so many times. He refuses to lose. He refuses to lose. Do you think Serena Williams' career was better than that of Steffi Graf? That's a good question. I think Serena's had more ups and downs than Steffi. So I think Steffi, when she got dominant, she kept her dominance, and then she kind of retired. So, but I think Serena overall just has more weapons. So I think you got to give the GOAT to Serena when you look at everything she's done and all the doubles. Don't forget about all the doubles Grand Slam she has too. Wawrinka was amazing. That's right. Wawrinka was amazing. He has what, 1 or 2 or 3? No, he has 3. Wawrinka has 3. But he would have had more probably, maybe. I don't know. It's hard to say who would have had more, but they just didn't. Celis getting stabbed. Okay, now we're on to the women, but I just have to point this out. Celis getting stabbed was huge for the history of tennis because I think Celis could have, if she would have stayed healthy, she could have written a lot of history. She could have written a lot of history. She could have maybe been near the top. Okay, let's see. Let's have some more thoughts. So, guys, let's just leave with some predictions. Write this down. Who's going to walk away with the most Grand Slam titles? Will it be Novak? Will it be Roger? Or will it be Rafa? And what's the number? What is the magic number? Are we looking at 22, 23-ish? That's probably a good number. Could it be 25, 26, 27, 28? Seems unlikely, but after tonight, who the hell knows? All bets are off. All bets are off, guys. Novak is the greatest of all time. I am a hard Federer fan, but that's the truth. Yeah, I mean, someone said Nole 25, Djokovic 23, Nadal 22, Roger 20. That's a pretty good, that could be a good guesstimate. That could be a good guesstimate. Djokovic for sure. He is the chosen one. I think Djokovic will have 22, maybe more. These are some good picks. 23, 21, 20. Ooh, someone said Rafa 25. Someone sees Rafa winning another 5. Where is he getting the 5? Are they all at the French? Novak 22, Roger 22. Someone thinks Roger can get 2 more. I'm not going to say he can't. I was about to say no. I don't think so, but I'm not saying anything negative about these 3. They always show you don't. I picked Medvedev and Novak. You shut me the hell up. You shut me up. I thought Medvedev was going to out rally him. I thought he was going to outrun him. I thought he was going to serve bigger, and it was not even close. So I'm not going to say anything against the big three. That they just always prove you wrong. Most weeks at number one means the most dominant player ever. Maybe, maybe. I think it still comes down to Grand Slams, especially when you look. I think when you look at the big three, since they all have just um, such gaudy numbers, I think what the history is going to look to, we're not going to be looking at weeks at number one or number titles. When it comes to the sorry guys, um, if you're still with me, I'm just gonna end this now. So thanks for you guys still being on, and had some technical difficulties. I want to thank everybody for being with me for the last couple of weeks, watching the Australian Open with me, giving our thoughts. That's what's so fun. We love to talk about this sport. And yeah, look at this. Oh, Ronich. I mean, how many? Ronich, is he a loser? Ronich would have won more Grand Slams. Uh, but when it comes to the big three, nothing surprises me. That's all. I'll leave it like that. When it comes to big three, nothing surprises me. Novak Djokovic, you're amazing. I don't even understand how good you are. I'm just thankful that you're you. And I just can't wait to see what happens at the French. Can't wait to see. You guys take care.